Hi everyone, welcome to English Story School, where we unlock the magic of learning English through engaging stories that inspire and educate. Have you ever felt trapped, as if your dreams were just out of reach, looming like a mountain you're too afraid to climb? Imagine standing at the base, looking up at that peak, feeling both excitement and dread. What if I told you there's a way to conquer that mountain? Today, we're diving deep into the methods of Rise Up, a comprehensive guide to unlocking your potential and reaching for the stars. Let's begin with Sarah, an aspiring artist who felt suffocated in a 9-to-5 job that drained her creativity. Every day, she yearned to paint full-time, but fear whispered doubts in her ear, holding her back. One day, while staring at a blank canvas, something shifted. Sarah remembered her mentor's words. The first step to rising up is believing in yourself. That moment ignited a spark within her. With newfound courage, she took a leap of faith and enrolled in an art class. This was her first step. Embrace the power of belief. Belief isn't just a feeling, it's a mindset, a commitment to nurturing growth and resilience. As Sarah immersed herself in the vibrant world of art, she felt her initial belief in herself transform into something more tangible and profound. It was as if a light bulb had switched on, illuminating paths she hadn't seen before. No longer just a daydreamer, sketching in the margins of her work reports, she began to envision a future where her art wasn't just a hobby, but a significant part of her life. With newfound clarity, she set her sights on a specific, ambitious dream, hosting her very own gallery show. This was a bold aspiration, but Sarah knew that dreams require more than just hope. They need a roadmap to navigate the journey ahead. This realization brings us to the second method: set clear goals. Sarah rolled up her sleeves and started crafting a detailed plan. She divided her grand vision into smaller, manageable steps, each one acting like a rung on the ladder, leading to her ultimate goal. First, she committed to daily painting sessions. She established a routine, waking up an hour earlier each morning to dedicate time solely to her art. This consistency became a sacred ritual, a moment of calm, where she could pour her heart onto the canvas without distractions. With each stroke of the brush, she not only honed her skills, but also built a deeper connection with her creativity. Next, Sarah understood the importance of community. Networking with other artists became a priority. She researched local art groups and online forums, seeking out opportunities to meet like-minded individuals. Attending local art fairs and workshops opened doors she hadn't imagined. These gatherings were more than just social events. They became a source of inspiration and support. She learned about different styles, techniques, and perspectives, which enriched her own artistic vision. Plus, the friendships she formed provided her with a safety net of encouragement and constructive feedback. Setting deadlines was another crucial element of her planning. Sarah mapped out a timeline for her gallery show, breaking it down into specific milestones. She established deadlines for completing certain pieces, securing a venue, and promoting her work. Each deadline was not merely a date on a calendar, but a motivator that pushed her to stay focused and committed. By treating her aspirations like professional obligations, she cultivated a sense of accountability that kept her on track. Every small goal she achieved became a stepping stone, guiding her closer to her dream. Whether it was completing a painting that she felt proud of or successfully connecting with another artist, each accomplishment fueled her confidence. With every stroke of the brush and every new connection, Sarah was not just moving closer to her gallery show, she was also discovering her identity as an artist. This method of breaking down her dream into clear, actionable goals transformed the daunting idea of hosting a gallery show from an abstract fantasy into a concrete reality. It made the journey less overwhelming and more manageable, allowing her to celebrate her progress along the way. With each small win, Sarah felt empowered, as if she were indeed climbing that mountain one step at a time, equipped with the tools and mindset to reach the summit. By setting clear goals, Sarah was not just chasing a dream, she was actively building it, brick by brick, brushstroke by brushstroke, leading her closer to the life she had always envisioned. But the road to success isn't always smooth, and for Sarah, that reality hit hard as she began her artistic journey. While her initial enthusiasm propelled her forward, it wasn't long before she encountered a series of challenges that tested her resolve. Rejections from galleries felt like gut punches, each one a reminder of the fierce competition in the art world. The emails she received, filled with polite refusals, echoed in her mind, causing self-doubt to creep in. Maybe I'm not good enough, she would think, staring at her canvases, feeling a wave of disappointment wash over her. Harsh critiques also played a significant role in her journey. During a local art critique session, a seasoned artist pointed out the flaws in her work with a bluntness that stung. "Your color choices are dull," they said, "and your compositions lack depth." While some feedback was constructive, Sarah found it hard to separate the helpful advice from the more cutting remarks. The criticism lingered, making her question her talent and worth as an artist. Then there were those inevitable days when inspiration felt elusive. Sarah would sit in front of her easel, brushes in hand, but the ideas just wouldn't flow. The canvas remained blank, a stark reminder of her struggles. Frustration mounted, and for a moment, it felt easier to retreat to her old life, the one that didn't involve risking vulnerability through her art. However, it was during these challenging moments that Sarah discovered the third method: embrace failure as feedback. This transformative mindset shift was not just a concept, but a lifeline. Instead of perceiving failures as dead ends, Sarah began to view them as invaluable lessons, crucial for her growth as an artist. To solidify this new perspective, Sarah started keeping a journal. This wasn't just any journal. It became a sacred space for her thoughts, reflections, and emotions. She began by documenting her experiences, each rejection, every critique, and the frustrating days devoid of inspiration. Writing it down helped her process her feelings, transforming confusion and frustration into clarity and understanding. In her journal, she would dissect each setback, asking herself questions like, "What can I learn from this? And how can I improve?" Instead of dwelling on the sting of rejection, she noted the common threads in the feedback she received. For instance, she recognized that many critiques focused on her use of color and composition. Armed with this insight, she made it a point to experiment with bolder color palettes and sought guidance on composition techniques in her art classes. On days when inspiration felt distant, Sarah would flip through her journal, revisiting her reflections and insights. This practice reminded her of her progress and the resilience she had cultivated. It served as a powerful motivator, reigniting her passion for art and encouraging her to push through creative blocks. She learned to experiment without fear of judgment, allowing herself to create messy, imperfect work that didn't have to be gallery-ready. With time, her journal transformed from a collection of setbacks into a treasure trove of growth. Each page reflected not just her struggles, but her evolution as an artist. It became a testament to her journey, documenting her transformation from a novice who feared failure to a confident creator who understood that each setback was simply a stepping stone toward her dreams. By embracing failure as feedback, Sarah developed a more resilient mindset. She began to celebrate the small victories amidst the setbacks, a well-executed brushstroke, a successful color experiment, or even just the courage to show up at her easel every day. This shift allowed her to approach her art with renewed vigor, fully aware that every artist faces challenges. In this way, setbacks no longer loomed as insurmountable obstacles but became essential parts of her story. Sarah learned that the journey to success is often paved with bumps and detours, and each one is a chance to learn, adapt, and ultimately rise stronger. Through her journal, she created a powerful narrative of resilience, reminding herself that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Recognizing the importance of community in her artistic journey, Sarah understood that she couldn't navigate the ups and downs of pursuing her dreams in isolation. She had felt the weight of solitude during those quiet moments spent staring at her easel, and she knew that surrounding herself with others who shared her passion would be crucial for her growth. This realization marked a pivotal shift in her approach, leading her to actively seek out connections within the vibrant world of art. Sarah started by exploring local art groups. She scoured community bulletin boards and social media platforms for information about gatherings where artists would meet to share their work and experiences. The first time she walked into a local art collective, her heart raced with excitement and nerves. The walls were adorned with colorful creations, and the air buzzed with conversation and creativity. Here, she found a diverse array of artists, some seasoned professionals and others like her, just beginning to find their footing. At these gatherings, Sarah discovered the magic of collaboration. Artists shared not only their work, but also their stories, struggles, and triumphs. They talked about the rejections they faced and how they overcame them, and she realized that she wasn't alone in her journey. This camaraderie was invigorating, and she found herself inspired by the stories of others who had faced similar hurdles. Each conversation served as a reminder that art is not just about individual expression, it's also about community and shared experiences. In addition to local groups, Sarah sought out workshops where she could learn new techniques and engage with fellow artists on a deeper level. These workshops became a sanctuary of creativity. Under the guidance of experienced instructors, Sarah experimented with different mediums, from acrylics to mixed media. The hands-on practice was exhilarating, but what truly enriched her experience were the discussions that followed. She exchanged ideas with peers, received constructive feedback on her pieces, and found encouragement in their enthusiasm. One workshop particularly stood out: a weekend retreat in a scenic location. The atmosphere was alive with creativity. Artists were painting, sketching, and sharing insights in every corner. Sarah felt the energy around her pulse with inspiration. During breaks, they gathered around a fire pit, sharing their dreams and aspirations. In those moments, bonds were formed, and Sarah felt a sense of belonging that she had longed for. Online engagement also played a significant role in building her support network. Sarah discovered numerous art forums and social media groups dedicated to artists of all levels. She began sharing her work on platforms like Instagram, where she connected with a global community of artists. The response was overwhelmingly positive. Comments flooded in, praising her efforts and providing constructive suggestions. It was astonishing to see how many people resonated with her art, and this feedback bolstered her confidence. Engaging with fellow artists online opened doors to fresh ideas and collaborations that she had never imagined. She participated in virtual critiques, where artists would share their works and offer feedback in a supportive environment. This experience not only helped her improve her craft, but also expanded her perspective on art. Seeing how others interpreted themes and techniques inspired her to experiment with her style, pushing her boundaries in ways she hadn't considered before. This brings us to the fourth method: build a support network. Surrounding herself with like-minded individuals provided Sarah with the encouragement she desperately needed. In a world where art can sometimes feel lonely, having a network of supportive artists became her lifeline. They celebrated her victories and offered solace during her struggles. Constructive criticism from her peers also became a vital component of her growth. When someone pointed out an aspect of her painting that could be improved, she didn't see it as a setback, but as an opportunity to refine her skills. These critiques, often delivered with kindness and insight, helped her view her work through a different lens. This collaborative spirit fostered an atmosphere of continuous learning, where each artist contributed to the growth of the others. Sometimes it's the belief of others that can ignite our own flame. Sarah experienced this firsthand when one of her peers encouraged her to submit a piece to a local art contest. Initially hesitant, Sarah eventually took the plunge, bolstered by the faith her friends had in her talent. That encouragement proved pivotal. Her piece was accepted, and she received recognition that further motivated her to pursue her artistic aspirations. In this flourishing environment, Sarah discovered that the connections she forged were not just beneficial for her artistic journey, but also transformative for her personal growth. She learned the value of collaboration, the strength in vulnerability, and the power of shared experiences. Each interaction within her support network fueled her creativity, and every piece of feedback, no matter how critical, became a stepping stone toward her evolving identity as an artist. Through her efforts to build a robust support network, Sarah found herself surrounded by a community that celebrated her passion and uplifted her spirit. This newfound connection became a vital source of strength, inspiring her to keep climbing her mountain of dreams, one brushstroke at a time. In the world of art, she realized, together they could rise up, igniting each other's flames along the way. As Sarah continued her journey, she stumbled upon another vital truth that would shape her path as an artist: cultivate consistency. It was a simple concept, yet it held immense power. She realized that talent alone wouldn't carry her to her dreams. What she needed was a dedicated practice, a daily commitment to honing her craft, regardless of her mood or external circumstances. At first, the idea of daily dedication felt overwhelming. Sarah was accustomed to allowing her emotions to dictate her creative output. Some days she would be bursting with inspiration, ready to create for hours, while on others she would struggle to find even a moment of motivation. However, as she reflected on her artistic ambitions, she knew that if she truly wanted to improve and reach her goals, she had to change her approach. With resolve, Sarah established a daily routine. She set aside a specific time each morning, transforming her workspace into a sanctuary of creativity. She made sure to create a calming atmosphere, filled with her favorite art supplies, soft music, and the pleasant aroma of coffee brewing in the background. This intentional environment became her creative haven, where distractions were minimal and focus was maximized. In those early days, sitting down to paint felt like a challenge. Some mornings, doubt would creep in, whispering that she wasn't skilled enough or that her ideas were uninspired. However, Sarah committed to her plan, reminding herself that consistency was key. She started with small, achievable tasks, simple sketches, experimenting with color palettes, or practicing specific techniques. This approach eased her into her practice, allowing her to build momentum without feeling overwhelmed. As she persisted, a remarkable transformation began to unfold. Day by day, Sarah noticed subtle improvements in her work. What had once seemed daunting slowly became a source of joy and exploration. She began to embrace the process of creating, rather than focusing solely on the end result. Each brushstroke felt more confident, each choice of color more intentional. The small, consistent efforts she poured into her practice began to accumulate, much like building a sturdy staircase, each step contributing to her ascent. In parallel to her artistic growth, Sarah found that cultivating consistency also nurtured her mental resilience. There were still days when she faced creative blocks or self-doubt, but she had learned to treat those feelings with compassion. Instead of giving in to frustration, she would allow herself to create freely without judgment. If she felt uninspired, she would pull out her journal and doodle, letting her hand guide her without expectation. This practice turned her creative blocks into moments of exploration, leading to unexpected breakthroughs. As her confidence grew, Sarah decided to set specific goals for her consistent practice. Each week, she would focus on a different theme or technique: portraits one week, landscapes the next, and abstract art the week after. This intentional variety kept her engaged and challenged her to step out of her comfort zone. By dedicating time to different styles, she discovered new facets of her creativity and developed a richer, artistic vocabulary. The impact of her consistent practice became even more apparent when she began sharing her progress on social media. With each post, she documented her journey, showcasing her evolving skills. The feedback she received from her growing online community was both motivating and affirming. They celebrated her dedication, applauding her improvements and encouraging her to keep pushing forward. This sense of accountability not only reinforced her commitment, but also helped her realize the importance of sharing her process with others. As months rolled on, Sarah became increasingly aware of the profound truth embedded in her journey. Like climbing a mountain, the path to mastery is paved with small, consistent efforts. Just as a mountaineer takes deliberate steps to ascend, so too did she learn that each painting session, no matter how small, contributed to her growth as an artist. Her discipline solidified her commitment, transforming her artistic practice from a sporadic endeavor into a fulfilling daily ritual. She began to view her journey not as a race to the summit, but as an exploration filled with learning and discovery. Each painting became a marker of her progress, a visual representation of the time and effort she had invested. Now standing at the foot of her own metaphorical mountain, Sarah could see the heights she had reached. The blend of consistency, discipline, and passion had allowed her to grow in ways she had once thought impossible. She learned that success wasn't just about talent, it was about showing up every day, embracing the process, and nurturing her love for art. In her heart, Sarah knew that the journey was ongoing. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the lessons she had learned and the discipline she had cultivated. Each day brought new opportunities for growth, and with every brushstroke, she continued to ascend, inspired and invigorated by the beauty of her journey. Finally, Sarah learned an invaluable lesson on her artistic journey. The power of celebrate your wins, no matter how small. In a world where artists often find themselves fixated on the next big project or the final goal, Sarah discovered that pausing to acknowledge her achievements was a game changer. This simple practice transformed her perspective and deepened her appreciation for the creative process. Initially, Sarah had a habit of downplaying her successes. After finishing a painting, she would often think, "It's not perfect, so it doesn't really count." She was quick to shift her focus to the next piece, racing ahead without taking the time to recognize the effort and emotion she had poured into her work. However, she soon realized that this mindset was counterproductive. Every completed painting, every positive comment from friends, and the courage it took to share her work deserved recognition. To cultivate this new habit, Sarah decided to create a celebration journal. This wasn't just a notebook, it became a vibrant tapestry of her artistic milestones. Each page was dedicated to a different achievement, no matter how seemingly insignificant. Whenever she finished a painting, she would write down not just the title and date, but also the emotions she felt while creating it. She documented her thoughts on the process, what she learned, and even the challenges she overcame to bring the piece to life. As Sarah flipped through her celebration journal, she noticed patterns emerging. Each painting represented a piece of her journey, a testament to her growth and evolution as an artist. The act of writing it all down helped her appreciate the strides she had made, shifting her focus from perfection to progress. She realized that every brushstroke was a step forward, contributing to her unique style and voice. Encouragement from friends also became a central part of her celebration ritual. Whenever someone complimented her work or offered positive feedback, she would jot it down in her journal. Sarah cherished these moments, recognizing that the belief of others in her talent acted as fuel for her creativity. She began to see each encouraging comment as a badge of honor, a reminder that her art resonated with people. This practice not only made her feel validated, but also connected her to her community in a meaningful way. One day, Sarah decided to host a small gathering at her home, inviting friends to share in her artistic journey. She wanted to celebrate her recent accomplishments and express her gratitude for their support. As she hung her paintings on the walls, she felt a rush of excitement and nervousness. This was a moment of vulnerability, sharing her work and celebrating her journey in front of those she cared about. When her friends arrived, they were captivated by her art, and the room filled with laughter and admiration. Each piece sparked discussions, stories, and genuine appreciation. As they marveled at her work, Sarah felt a profound sense of belonging and joy. In that moment, she understood that her journey was not just about individual accomplishments, it was also about sharing those moments with others who believed in her. In the weeks that followed, Sarah made it a point to celebrate even the smallest victories. She began rewarding herself after completing a painting, whether it was treating herself to her favorite coffee, going for a nature walk, or simply taking a moment to reflect on what she had accomplished. Each reward reinforced the idea that her efforts were valuable and worthy of recognition. As her confidence grew, so did her willingness to share her work. No longer paralyzed by fear of judgment, Sarah found herself submitting pieces to local exhibitions and participating in community art shows. Each time she showcased her work, she experienced a rush of exhilaration. The acknowledgement she received from viewers and fellow artists further fueled her creativity. Through the practice of celebrating her wins, Sarah not only boosted her confidence, but also reignited her passion for art. She learned to appreciate the beauty of the journey, understanding that each step, big or small, was essential to her growth. Her celebration journal became a treasured keepsake, a reminder of how far she had come and the joy of creating. So, where is Sarah now? After months of unwavering dedication, she found herself on the brink of a dream come true, her very first gallery show. It was an event she had envisioned countless times, a vibrant display that would not only showcase her artwork, but also embody her entire journey as an artist. The excitement coursing through her veins was palpable, a mix of anticipation and nerves that danced together like brushstrokes on canvas. In the weeks leading up to the show, Sarah worked tirelessly to prepare. Each painting was carefully selected, representing different phases of her artistic evolution. From her early experiments with color and form to the pieces that reflected her newfound confidence and style, each work told a story. She wanted the exhibition to capture her journey, the struggles, the breakthroughs, and the joy she found in creating. The walls of the gallery transformed into a visual narrative of her growth, each piece a testament to her hard work and passion. As the opening night approached, Sarah took a moment to reflect on how far she had come. She recalled the days when she struggled with self-doubt, the rejections that stung, and the countless hours spent honing her craft. The image of herself, standing in front of a blank canvas, overwhelmed by fear, felt like a distant memory. In its place was a sense of pride and accomplishment that filled her heart. She had not only risen in her art career, but had also soared in self-belief and confidence. On the night of the gallery show, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement. The gallery was alive with energy, filled with friends, family, and new supporters who had come to celebrate her journey. As Sarah entered the space, she was greeted by warm smiles and enthusiastic hugs. The sight of her loved ones mingling with fellow artists and art enthusiasts filled her with gratitude. Each familiar face represented a milestone in her journey. People who had encouraged her, believed in her, and walked alongside her every step of the way. As guests wandered through the gallery, Sarah felt a rush of emotion. Each painting sparked conversations, igniting discussions about technique, inspiration, and the stories behind her work. Friends and family admired her pieces, sharing how they resonated with them on a personal level. It was in these moments that Sarah truly understood the impact of her art, not just as a form of self-expression, but as a bridge connecting her to others. The joy in their eyes, the laughter shared over anecdotes, and the genuine appreciation for her craft made her heart swell. Throughout the evening, Sarah moved from group to group, engaging with her guests and soaking in their feedback. She listened intently as people shared their favorite pieces and what they evoked in them. Each compliment felt like a validation of her hard work, reinforcing her belief in her talent. It was a powerful reminder of the importance of celebrating her wins, and she felt a sense of fulfillment that went beyond the recognition of her art. One particularly memorable moment came when an artist she admired approached her. This seasoned creator had seen Sarah's work online and expressed how much she appreciated the growth and emotion in her pieces. She encouraged Sarah to continue pushing boundaries and exploring new themes. This affirmation from someone she looked up to was a beautiful reminder of the supportive community she had built and the significance of her journey. As the night drew to a close, Sarah stepped back to take it all in. The gallery was filled with laughter and lively conversations, and the ambiance felt electric. In that moment, surrounded by friends, family, and newfound supporters, she realized that this was not just a celebration of her art, it was a celebration of her resilience, her journey, and her transformation. The experience solidified a deep sense of belonging within her artistic community, a feeling she had longed for. Sarah understood that her art had become a conduit for connection, a way to share her story with the world. With every piece she created, she was contributing to a larger narrative of creativity and expression, one that resonated with others and inspired them in turn. As she closed the evening, Sarah felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had taken the leap to embrace her passion, face her fears, and rise above challenges. The gallery show marked a significant milestone, not just in her career, but in her personal growth. She had transformed from an artist filled with uncertainty into a confident creator who understood the power of her voice and vision. So, where is Sarah now? She stands at the beginning of a new chapter, filled with hope and excitement for what lies ahead. With the support of her community and the fire of passion ignited within her, she knows that her journey is just beginning. She is ready to explore new horizons, take on fresh challenges, and continue to grow as an artist. Each brushstroke, each canvas, and each moment of connection will further enrich her journey, proving that she is not just an artist, but a storyteller, inspiring others to rise up and embrace their own creative paths. As we wrap up, remember that rising up is a journey, not a destination. Embrace belief in yourself, set clear goals, learn from failures, build a supportive network, cultivate consistency, and celebrate every win along the way. Each of these methods is a tool to help you conquer your own mountain, just like Sarah did. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.